Check, check. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tuesday night Q&A Hangout. We're going to see where the rabbit hole takes us today with your questions. I'm sure we will get some free agency questions, some draft questions. We'll see where it goes, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I got coffee. I had coffee this afternoon, so I am all the way amped up on Mountain Dew. Let's talk about it all, but first... How about those Chiefs? I wasn't that late today. Just like 3 or 4 minutes. Well, okay, maybe 4 minutes. Last week I was like 10 minutes. So this is better. This is better today. Let me do this. Program window. I'm gonna put the chat on my teleprompter so I can stare at y'all in the eyes and look you right in the eyes and tell you how I really feel. Yo, what's up, Charles? Hope you're doing well, man. Duval, super wild Jags fan. Almost said Chargers fan. I don't know why. What's up, man? Should the Chiefs keep Sneed? I mean, I would love for them to keep L'Jarius Sneed, and it still could play out that way where a long-term deal doesn't end up getting agreed to with Sneed and another team, therefore no trade actually materializes, and the Chiefs keep L'Jarius Sneed on the tag. Carrington Harrison of 610 Sports did report yesterday a couple different things about the L'Jarius Sneed front. And let me see if I can find that pretty quickly. It's right here. This is what he said. Let me zoom in. He said a couple things I can report / confirm about L'Jarius Sneed. No team has made a second-round offer. So while we had some people within the kingdom saying, hey, Sneed's going to demand at least a first, you know, or multiple picks, including a second and a couple others. I thought maybe initially, I was like, what about like a second and a fifth? Some people thought that was well under the value of L'Jarius Sneed. Well, the problem is the market determines the value, and reportedly no team has offered Sneed even a second round pick, which is crazy. Third round? Fourth round? I don't know. I would assume a third. That's kind of where I'm leaning right now. Then he said, Sneed's desire is to become the highest paid cornerback in the league, and that's been the major holdup. That's like $22 million a year. I'm not sure Sneed's going to get that, and it's mainly because of two things. His age and the medicals are concerning, and the main medical concern is L'Jarius Sneed's knee. Now, if no trade materializes and he ends up staying in Kansas City, per Carrington Harrison, the Chiefs are fine with playing him on the tag next season. Yeah, you could do that. You're going to then owe him $20 million, $19.8 million. And the Chiefs right now only have around $8 or so million in cap space. That's with the signing of Hollywood Brown and I think Derek Nottie or Turk Wharton. They're getting pretty close to all of their signings. The details of Hollywood Brown's contract came out today, and there's some likely to be earned incentives in there, some not likely to be earned incentives in there. I think that pay out next year if he hits them. But yeah, the Chiefs have around $8 million in cap space, and that's about roughly what you need to maintain things through the season, about $5 to $8 million. So they don't have a lot of room right now to make other moves in free agency, i.e. running back, left tackle, maybe a defensive end. There could be another position the Chiefs are looking at, maybe a receiver. And if Kadarius Toney is their returner, cool, but maybe they're looking at another veteran receiver to bring in on a cheap deal. Remember, Richie James was like $1 million last year, and he was their returner. So if the Chiefs are fine with him playing on the tag, they may need to do a couple of other things to free up space. Could that be a restructure of somebody or an extension? Well, yeah, that's the only two routes you could go. A restructure of somebody that's got a bigger cap hit or an extension of somebody that's got a bigger cap hit. So that was a long answer to is L'Jarius Sneed or could L'Jarius Sneed stay a Chief? That's kind of where things stand right now. Song with the 6 months. Let's go, Song. It's a win-win. If we keep Sneed, we have one of the best corners. If not, free up cap. I'm happy. Yeah, and that is a positive. Obviously, if the Chiefs keep L'Jarius Sneed on the tag, the defense is looking good. They brought back Chris Jones. They've got Nottie. They've got Wharton. They've got Mike Pennell. They've got Isaiah Buggs on the D-line. They've got George Karlaftis, FAU. Aminihu will eventually be back. They've got a lot of the same pieces. The only couple that are looking to not return so far is obviously Willie Gay signed a 1-year deal with the Saints worth up to $5 million. And then safety Mike Edwards. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he's been visiting some teams recently, which tells me he's just looking to see what's out there. And I don't know if the Chiefs are willing to bring Mike Edwards back at this point in time, not because he played bad. I think he's great, but I think they are very high on safety Chamari Connor, the rookie. I think per Dave Merritt, the defensive backs coach, he played 5 different positions back there in the secondary last season. The first time a rookie has ever done that in Dave Merritt's coaching career, if I remember his presser correctly when he spoke about Chamari Connor a couple of months ago. So Mike Edwards might not be back. Mike Dana also might not be back. We just don't know. I would love for them to re-sign Mike Dana. He had, 8 or 9 sacks last year, somewhere around there. Pretty good year. And he could really fill the role for Charles Aminihu while Aminihu is still recovering from his ACL surgery. So also with the safety room, jumping back to that, like if Mike Edwards isn't back, I think it's okay. They're really high on Chamari Connor. They still have Brian Cook and then obviously Justin Reed. I would love to see Sneed back. Like if they could make that happen, like you're basically not fully, but borderline running it back with the defense. Remember, they brought Drew Tranquill back as well. Nick Bolton's still there. There's a lot of good things there in the defensive front. How do you think Hollywood Brown's going to perform next year? What's up, TD Edits? I mean, I saw I think it was KCSN made a post on Twitter. They said, what is your projected stat line for Hollywood Brown? And you saw some answers that were certainly intriguing. Some say, hey, he's getting close to 1,000, maybe 800 or 900. Some are saying 1,000 plus. He could be wide receiver 1 next year. Just from a production standpoint, that's not necessarily how the Chiefs are instantly viewing the guy, but he is a pretty good route runner, and he's able to impact short, intermediate, and deep down the field with a deeper speed. Like he's a more, what do I want to say? He's a more dangerous deep threat than MVS, but he's also quicker off the line than MVS. MVS was like a train, dude. He needed the time to build up his speed. Marquise Brown does not need that. So I am excited about it. If I had to, like, gun to my head right now, give me a stat line, I'm going to say 750 or 800 yards and about 4 touchdowns. I mean, if you had that from Hollywood Brown and then Rashee Rice had around 1,000 and Travis Kelce had 900, 1,000 yards, I mean, that's pretty freaking good. You might need somebody else to step up in there after those 3. I mean, Justin Watson is a good wide receiver 4, but I still think you need somebody else in there to step up. Is it Sky Moore? I don't know. Is it Kadarius Toney? Probably not. I mean, if Kadarius Toney's on the roster next year, or this year rather, I would think he's primarily the returner and he gets some work in, but I just can't bank on a lot from Kadarius Toney at this point in time based on his previous track record throughout the years with the Chiefs. So we'll definitely have to wait and see, but I'm excited for Marquise Brown, man. As long as he stays healthy, he'll have around 800-ish yards. I mean, give or take 100 either way, in my opinion. But what do you guys think about Hollywood Brown's stat line by the end of the season? I would love to hear it, or love to read it rather. Clash said 947 yards, 72 receptions, 5 touchdowns. Ooh, that'd be fire. 3 1,000-yard receivers, said Kenny. Cole, the living legend, the man, the bearded beard. What's up, Night Hunter? What's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Antonio with the 7 months. It was pretty cool to see Brown already hanging out with Mahomes, working out. Yeah, he's already training with Bobby Stroop and Patrick Mahomes. I did see that a little bit ago. Yeah, Mahomes and Primetime Jet getting some work together already, and they were definitely training with Bobby Stroop as well. So you definitely love to see that. Zach Eisen also posted this, which I found interesting earlier, and I kind of agree. He said, I'm curious to see what the Chiefs' roster building plan from now until the draft is. They're lacking depth and competition at certain positions, running back and offensive line, specifically left tackle, and could use starters at other spots, wide receiver and defensive line. So we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier and why I think the Chiefs are going to need to make some financial moves via extension or restructure if L'Jarius Sneed stays a Chief on the tag because they don't have a lot of depth in some of these positions, specifically running back. No McKinnon, no CEH right now. Offensive line, you don't have Donovan Smith at this point in time. Nick Allegretti was a great piece of their offensive line, very valuable depth. He's gone. He signed a deal with the Commanders. Wide receiver, I mean, yeah, you signed Marquise Hollywood Brown, but you cut MVS, and then McCole Hardman and Richie James are still free agents. I'm going to be very curious to see if they end up keeping L'Jarius Sneed, what they are going to be doing to fill some of these holes, the voids, and some of these position groups before the draft. Some of these position groups, I will say, they could be like, well, we're just going to wait. We're going to wait and see how the draft plays out, and then we'll fill some of these other needs after the draft. They definitely did that with left tackle last year. They signed Donovan Smith on Sunday. Was the draft Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Then they signed Donovan Smith on Sunday. It was like something like super, like just immediately following the draft, Donovan Smith was the Chief. So they could actually go into the draft, at least in some of these areas, just saying, hey, we're going to draft a couple of these players for this position group and build the depth that way. But I think they need a couple more free agents at least, even if it's on cheap deals. Yo, what's up, Monkey? Your local Monkey? What's up, dude? I don't know what I thought I was reading. What order do you think the Chiefs' draft priorities will be? I mean, right now, tackle is definitely a need, even if it's not a starting tackle per se, and it's just somebody that's close to a starting tackle that can bring competition into the room with Wanye Morris, and then I still think they should sign a veteran. Doesn't have to be an expensive veteran. You saw Tyron Smith of the Cowboys. He signed a one-year deal worth up to $20 million with the Jets last week. Chiefs aren't going to get there. That's a lot of incentives that he has to hit. Like it's a lower base salary than that, but it's still a crazy deal. So I think they're definitely going to look at tackle. They are not done at wide receiver. They got Hollywood Brown, yes, but he's on a one-year deal. Outside of that, Sky Moore is going into year 3. Tony is on his last year. He's probably not returning. Justin Watson is on the last year of his deal. I mean, there's no McCole right now coming back. There's no Richie James. There's not a lot of wide receivers in that room that's got a bunch of years left on their deal, really, except for Rashee Rice. So wide receiver is definitely a need early. Defensive line, I would think, is maybe tackle specifically because, yeah, you have Chris Jones, but you've got a bunch of other tackles in there on like one-year deals. You do have Neil Farrell, who they traded for from the Raiders. He's got multiple years left, obviously. I don't remember if was he a rookie this year or last year in 2023 and the Chiefs traded for him, or was he in his second year? I think he was a rookie. If so, you've got 3 more years on him. So definitely tackle is a need. And then you just start looking at the roster and whose contracts are up when. Offensive guard is a need, in my opinion. You have no more Allegretti. Joe Tooney's not getting any younger. Trey Smith is on the last year of his deal. Running back, probably late, but running back. You need to get Pacheco some help. They do have Deneric Prince and the Michael Pirine on the practice squad. But again, McKinnon, 32, free agent. Don't know if he's coming back. And then CEH, maybe CEH comes back on a cheap deal. Maybe even it's a couple-year deal. I don't think it would break the bank. Some people would not like to see that. That's running back depth. I don't know if that's the 1-2 punch with Isaiah Pacheco, but if Pacheco goes down or McKinnon, like somebody like McKinnon goes down, we saw CEH could go into that role, and he's not the fastest, moving left to right. Like, we know this, but he had some splash plays and he was able to execute in the system. It was okay for a cheap deal. But those are some of my thoughts on the draft right now. And then obviously part of that is dependent on what moves they make from now in free agency till the draft. Does Sneed actually get moved and they get that $20 million to go sign some, like you could get a few people and actually make a couple smaller splash moves if you don't have Sneed on the roster. So if they do that before the draft, then it's like, okay, well, what positions are falling to them because they're last in the draft every single round, basically. If they do trade Sneed, they'll get a 3rd-round pick maybe for him, something like that. So you will get an extra 3rd rounder. You can maybe use that to trade up if you want, if you're high enough on a player. Remember, they drafted Wanye Morris in the 3rd round last year, offensive tackle, but they were so high on Chamari Connor, they debated on drafting him in the 3rd round and then traded up for him in the 4th to go get him. So if they're high enough on a player, round 2, round 3, they could move up. They do have 7 picks right now, but yeah, I know I'm giving some kind of like long-winded answers, but hopefully I'm able to process as well as I can right off the jump. So if anybody wants to go back to the beginning of the stream, they'll get the most value that they possibly can on my thoughts with the roster and how things are looking right now, at least in free agency. Antonio, thanks again for the 7 months, man. Justin Mead with the 14 months said, it's so loud at work, I can't really hear you, Cole, so I'm just here so I don't get fined. Deal. Yo, Justin, I saw you leave a super chat for KCSN the other night asking about Starship or something, and I was dying laughing, bro. You had me cracking up, dude. Aura with the 10 months. What's up? I feel the best case scenario for our draft at 32 is we either get Adonai Mitchell or an offensive tackle. Tackle isn't the pretty signing, but if you draft the right guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm just now starting to really dig into the draft. Like, that's a priority starting this week and next week. I've got a couple Substacks that I'm sub to that cover draft content, and just really starting to dig in. I don't know if Adonai Mitchell is going to be there at 32. He could. I've seen some mock drafts where he is, but geez, man. If they could get him at 32, that would be freaking awesome. Now, offensive tackle is definitely a need. Like I said, you need somebody to go in there and compete with Wanye Morris. Wanye could earn the starting job, but I really think you need to at least draft another tackle in the first couple of rounds, maybe, and then maybe draft or sign a veteran to a cheaper deal. Could be after the draft. That's fine, but you really need to beef up the competition for the starting left tackle spot, but also for some depth as well. Prince Tega Wanogho is still a free agent right now, I believe, the last time I checked. If I'm wrong on that, somebody in chat let me know, but I think Prince Tega Wanogho, one of the guys they went to next in line as a swing tackle over the last couple of years, he's a free agent. No Nick Allegretti, no Prince Tega Wanogho, no Donovan Smith. You have Mike Caliendo, but you need a tackle as well. So I'd be curious to see that with pick 32. I would not. The only pick I would probably raise my eyebrows at pick 32 right now would be defensive end, just because, like, I understand it is kind of a need, but they've just gone round 1 defensive end 2 years in a row. But hey, if the right guy falls to them and they're like, we can't pass this up, we couldn't trade up in round 1. Remember last year they tried to trade up in round 1 for a receiver. No dice. They tried to trade back out of round 2. No dice. They wanted just slightly out of round 1 and in the beginning picks of round 2, and they couldn't get there. And so they stayed put. They picked FAU. But yeah, a lot of it depends on how the board falls and our team's willing to play ball with the Kansas City Chiefs, because most of them are sick and tired of seeing the Chiefs win and do not want to help them at all, sadly. Yo, what's up, Xander? With the 5 months. Yo, 5 months? Let's freaking go. Let's go, dude. I think Marquise Brown will have 85 receptions, 1,085 yards, 12 touchdowns. Okay. That would actually be fantastic. I like that. That's probably on the higher end for me, especially the touchdowns. But dude, if he's putting up those numbers, he's definitely not a Chief next year because he's getting a monster contract elsewhere. But I won't complain because he is putting up some big numbers for the Kansas City Chiefs this season, and I would love it. Randy, what's up, dude? With the 17 months red beard tier. Freaking legend, dude. Appreciate you. Hope you are doing well, man. He said, what's up, HBTC fam? Everybody say, what's up, Randy? Derek D with the 5 gifted. With the 5 bomb. Derek, my man. Thank you so much, brother. Justin with the 2. Kent definitely didn't want any of that question. Nah, he goes, what did he say? Tucker, cut to the inside. I was dying, bro. Cut to the inside. That was freaking funny, dude. Oh, man. Devontae Smith for Sneed? Are you guys high on Devontae Smith? What's his contract look like? still on his rookie deal. They could pick up his 5th-year option in 2025. I mean, if the Eagles want to play ball with the Chiefs and they need a defensive back that bad, which I do think they're still looking for some defensive back help, I would be open to the idea. The problem with the Eagles right now, how much freaking money have they spent? They keep spending money by signing player after player after player. Do they have enough money to not only, you got to trade for Sneed, right? But he wants top of the market money. He wants to be paid like the highest cornerback or very close. He'd probably settle for very close. A lot of that has to do with the guarantees. What's up, Gary? How are you, bro? Xavier Worthy or Kool-Aid McKinstry? Which would you rather as draft? Well, 2 different positions. Kool-Aid, dude. I know who Kool-Aid is because I love that name so much. He's a defensive back, and Xavier Worthy obviously is a wide receiver. So, I mean, it's just 2 different positions. If they don't have L'Jarius Sneed, he falls. Let's say I think he's like projected a lot to go in round 2 from what I've been seeing. And I'm just scratching the surface on draft content, guys. I am not a draft expert, never claimed to be, never will be. But, you know, if they need a defensive back that bad in their eyes, or they're just looking at the players that they have available to them at pick 32, and they have a pretty high grade on Kool-Aid. It's just so funny to say that name with a straight face. And like, I love the name. I hope he's a Chief just because I want a Kool-Aid shirt. It would be fire. But if they're like, well, we need a defensive back. He's not going to be available at pick 64 or whenever it is. Let's snag him. I mean, okay. But I wouldn't complain about Worthy. I know some people have their reservations about him because of his size and just some other issues that some have seen. Maybe his ability to fight through contact a little bit. But shoot, Worthy is fun because he's fast. But dude, I don't even, he might go way before that, and we're probably looking at some other receiver. Maybe Ladd, maybe the Irishman. I know a lot of people are high on Adonai. I just don't know if he's going to be available either. There's a couple other guys that people are looking at and are interested in. I know Sean Peterson, he might be here. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's always talking this wide receiver up that is probably going to go way too early for the Chiefs, if I'm going to be honest. I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember his name right now. Let's see. Knight with the 18 months. Here's the HBTC and a quest for the 3P. Let's freaking go, Night Hunter, with the 18 months. Love it, man. Kenny Jackson, let's go. I will second that, Night Hunter. Let's go, man. Thanks so much for the support, guys. Good to see y'all in here. Tristan with the 279. Was Hollywood really listening to Taylor Swift? Yeah. Yeah, he was on his, the night he got signed, he went to Twitch and went live. He was bumping Red Kingdom by Tech 9. He was listening to a little bit of Taylor Swift. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely was on his live stream. It was kind of lit, actually. Ladd McConkey is a great route runner. Yeah, Dylan, I mean, from what I've seen, he's still a pretty quick guy. Not as quick as some of the others we've been talking about, but hey, man, a fellow Irishman on the Chiefs, sign me up. Let's go, Ladd. Ladd McConkey. That's such an Irish name. I'm just checking Twitter real quick, making sure we're not missing anything. Did you guys see Mike Williams signed a deal with the Jets? Yeah, Mike Williams is the Jet, which is interesting. It's like a 1-year, $15 million deal. Yo, what's up, Janae? How the heck are you? Conky would be 100 at pick 32. Hey, I wouldn't complain about it. Not going to lie. Chiefs are at the blackjack table sitting on a 20. Why stress? Wait for the draft. Yeah, I'm not really stressing by any means, because I think if anybody has proved they deserve the benefit of the doubt over the last even just couple of years, I mean, we can go back further, the last 5 years, it would be Brett Veach and his staff. So, yeah, I'm definitely not stressing, but part of the fun of the offseason is trying to guess / predict what moves the Chiefs could be doing, but we're on the outside looking in. The Chiefs are in the war room. They got their draft board. They got their free agency board. They're going through 18 different scenarios for everything. They've got scenarios playing out if Sneed gets traded, if he doesn't get traded. Like, they have a bunch of scenarios playing out. They know a lot of the directions that they're going to go. And we as fans just have fun trying to predict / guess / do mental gymnastics sometimes, or just really have to process through moves that they could potentially be making. It is kind of fun, but I'll be excited when the draft is over because you'll get a much clearer picture, and the roster will pretty much be put together by then. Every old player is at the Jets now. Yeah, I think the Jets' average age, Ryan, is about 46. Will Brian Cook be back in time for OTAs? What's up, McBindy? The fellow Scotsman in chat. I don't know the answer to that, to be honest. They've been pretty hush-hush about his injury. It's clear, at least from what I gather, he had surgery. If you saw him in the franchise episode during the AFC Championship game, I think is when they featured him, because that's the game Deion Bush picked off Lamar Jackson in the end zone, and Deion Bush was only in there for a few snaps. Brian Cook was in a boot, and he got hurt, like halfway through the season? Ish, somewhere around there. I mean, it was after the Miami game, somewhere after that. After the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins game in Germany. I don't know if Brian Cook's going to be back for OTAs or not. I would think he's back for training camp. OTAs, though, those start somewhat soonish. So I'm not sure. You see us signing OBJ after the draft? I mean, I don't think his stock what it was even last year, because it was just an okay year for him last season. So that is definitely an option post-draft, especially, for sure. Some people hate that idea, Odell Beckham Jr. to the Chiefs. I don't mind it. I just didn't want to see it for anywhere near the price that the Ravens paid him last year. I think that is just too much money. I think that's just too much money, in my opinion. Race Fan with the 10 gifted. Oh my gosh. Race Fan, let's go, dude. Jack said Ladd's Pro Day didn't go very well. I didn't watch it. It knocked him out of the first round by Mel and D. Jeremiah's most recent drafts. I mean, that's okay. That's okay if the Chiefs aren't gonna go that route. If the Irishman falls and he's not available, meaning they don't want to take him in round 1 and he's scooped up in round 2 before the Chiefs are able to potentially even have a look, like, that's okay. I will only shed 1 tear for the Irishman. Just 1. Not 2. Trade Sneed to Jets, get round 3, pick 72, a 2025 5th or 6th round, and Mekhi Becton. Isn't what's his contract look like? Mekhi Becton's. Let me look up his contract real quick, because I thought he was a free agent. Or am I tripping? Is he a free agent? Yeah, he's a free agent. So, unless I'm tripping, I think he's a free agent. Yeah, he is a free agent, said Sean. Thanks, man. Yeah, so, hey, dude, I don't see how the Jets can afford Sneed. They've signed everybody and their mother to big deals. Then you've got to trade for Sneed and extend him. Fair enough. Sean, thanks for the text earlier today, man. I haven't looked at it. But, dude, let's go. Any draft help is much appreciated, bro. It's all good, Sean. Good to see you in here. No OBJ, said Cora. I mean, do I think that's going to happen? I don't know that that's extremely likely. But a post-draft guy, depending on their needs, I'm not opposed. For a wide receiver, I mean, that's really like a wide receiver 4. I mean, if you think about it, if you consider Travis Kelce, then Rice, then Brown, well, maybe even whoever they draft, then OBJ, I'm open to it, but I feel like he's still going to demand a little bit too much money. Rax with the 10 months. Let's go, dude. Did you see Mike Edwards? Yeah, Mike Edwards is visiting the Bills, and he visited somebody else too. I did see that. We talked about that a little bit earlier. But yeah, I think the Chiefs are, like, if they are able to get Mike Edwards back, I would love it. But they signed Deion Bush, and then they've got Chamari Connor. They have Brian Cook, and Justin Reed. I feel like that's a pretty solid safety room. But dude, if you could get Mike Edwards back, he wasn't super expensive last year. And he played really well, stepped up when people started going down. He wasn't the best safety out there, but he is a ball hawk. He did make some plays, and he was definitely a contributor. Definitely a contributor. Dub Freak with the 10. Let's go, dude. Hey, Cole, gonna sound mad, but if we can't trade Sneed, then I'd rescind the tag. I mean, that is definitely a possibility that could happen. We need the money to sign. Yeah, that's another need, QB2. I didn't bring that up. I talked about it in a video recently, but yeah, QB2, running back, left tackle, and maybe another veteran wide receiver, plus thinking of next year. We need the money. How about those Chiefs? It doesn't sound mad to me. I just think it would be a bummer for Sneed, like if the Chiefs did that, because what they would have done in that circumstance is they kind of took away Sneed's market at the beginning of free agency, where he would have gotten potentially a really big deal from somebody. And if you rescind the tag, he does walk into free agency, probably still signs a deal, but he's not going to get, in theory, what he would have at the beginning of free agency. So I would be bummed in that regard. But hey, if the Chiefs rescind the tag, it is an option because Sneed hasn't signed the tag. I don't know if you guys, some of you may not know this. Franchise tag is kind of complex, but if Sneed hasn't yet signed the tag, the Chiefs can rescind it, which means they can take it away and say, never mind. And he would just immediately become a free agent. I feel like that's a low possibility of happening, but you can't completely rule it out, because you're right. That's what I was saying earlier in this video, Dub Freak. The Chiefs, they don't have a lot of cap space right now, and they're going to need to create it to fill some of these holes in theory, because there's no way you're going QB2, running back, left tackle, another receiver, then even like a defensive lineman, probably an edge there, because I don't think they're just rolling with FAU and then George Karlaftis and then waiting on a Minihue to get back. I know they're high-ish on Malik Herring. They're bringing him back, but you don't have Dana and you don't have a Minihue. You probably need to bring somebody in. Just my opinion. I mean, Chris Jones can kick outside. Like, I get it. But I'd say go get Dana if you can figure out how to afford that. Yeah, lots of needs. Lots of needs for sure. Not stressing about it. Somebody said don't stress. I'm not stressing about it, but just looking at it on the outside, there's definitely some stuff they've still got to do. 100%. Doc Holiday with the 10. What's up, dude? Appreciate you. Let's shut the hell up and let Beach cook. He said, I think we're moving on from Bolton after this season with that 3-year deal on Drew Tranquill. The question is, do we want to pay Sneed or Karlaftis? Well, thanks so much for the 10, man. But on your question about paying Sneed or Karlaftis, we've got to shut the hell up and let Veach cook, man. I was just playing. Let me see. Yeah, I think what the Drew Tranquill signing did is it didn't it put the Chiefs in a position where they did not have to sign Nick Bolton to a huge deal. Like, they can, if they need to, let him walk next season because Drew Tranquill can fill that role. He can play all 3 linebacker positions, and he did a great job filling in for Nick Bolton last year. So, yes, I think it does help them a little bit. Like, there's not as much pressure there. Like, oh, we don't have an option. We've got to bring Nick Bolton back no matter what. I think they will really try to do so. Wouldn't even be surprised if they do it this offseason. I mean, Spags loves the guy, dude. He's beloved around the entire team, but I understand business is business. You can't pay everybody. Like, I get all that. So yeah, Nick Bolton could potentially not be getting extended. We'll just have to wait and see what their decision is with that. He could be a tag candidate, I guess. But yeah, that's next year. Next year's problems. But he said, do we want to pay Sneed or Karlaftis? I mean, that's a good question, but Karlaftis is just in year 3, and he's a first-round pick. So you've got this year, you've got next year, and you can pick up his 5th-year option. So I think you're okay right now on Karlaftis. I think the question really is, to me, if you're going to say Sneed or, I would say Sneed or McDuffie. Same year as Karlaftis, but same position. So the question is, do you want to extend Sneed and then find yourself in a situation where you're having extension talks with Trent McDuffie, and you really need to keep him around, but then you're going to have a big potential cap hit in some regard of L'Jarius Sneed. You're talking extension with Trent McDuffie as well. Chris Jones is going to have a huge cap hit. Mahomes is getting up there in his cap hits as well, even though you can restructure him like they did it. They converted some stuff this year, but it pushes it back into later years. Yeah, lots of interesting questions, man. And I'm very curious to see how it plays out. Thanks so much for the 10 bomb. And I hope you know I was just being a little cheeky, bro. Just being sarcastic. In my initial answer to you. I was just having fun. Tony with the 2. Let's go, dude. First live super chat. Let's get it, man. Thanks so much for the 2 bomb, brother. Let's see. Somebody said we signed a tight end, Irv Smith. Yeah. If somebody said we need to look at the tight end room, to one extent, I understand what you're saying, especially if you're talking about the future. With Kelsey not getting any younger and then Noah Gray, I think his last year of his deal is this year. They did, though, for this season at least, they signed Irv Smith Jr. He's basically, from what I'm gathering, a Blake Bell replacement, a better receiving tight end than Blake Bell. So maybe you're able to do some stuff with him that you were doing with Jody Fortson, potentially. But he raises the floor, the talent of the floor. What is it? He raises the floor of the talent, I guess is how you would say it, of the tight end room. If you compare Blake Bell's performance last year to what Irv Smith Jr. is most likely, at least, if you just have conservative expectations of him this season, is going to bring, it's an upgrade to the floor. Extend Kelsey. I mean, he's got a couple years left, and by that time he'll be 36. If you're saying extend Kelsey to lower his cap hit a little bit, yeah, you could. You could do that. Yo, Liam, what's up, dude? He said, sign McCole, draft left tackle round 1, and running back re-sign CEH or McKinnon, draft a QB2 and an inside linebacker to replace Bolton next year, and then trade Bolton to the Rams for Zach Evans and their 4th, using that for safety. Oh, shoot, dude. Yo, Liam's got some plans. Liam's got some plans. You think they would trade? I mean, I would be. If they traded Bolton this draft, that would be. That would hurt, in my opinion. But that is definitely intriguing, man. You know what's crazy is we throw around some of these hypotheticals, and people are like, "No way that'll ever happen." Well, crazier things have happened. But I would think they do all they can to hold on to Bolton at least this year. I don't know if he's extended or not. I think he is. But I'd be pretty surprised if Nick Bolton wasn't a Chief for this season, considering he's still under contract and a very important piece, at least right now, of the defense. Yeah, Cora said Blake Bell wasn't the same after his hip injury. I agree, which is unfortunate. Who is getting Sneed? I mean, Colts are up there as potential landing spots. Who are the other two that were reportedly having discussions? Detroit Lions and the Vikings. I feel like the Lions are out, right? They've made some of their moves. The Vikings? I don't know, dude. I mean, I feel like the Colts are the best landing spot for him now. Still. When can we expect Charles Omenihu back playing? What's up, every tribe? I mean, he had surgery in February, right? Mid-February. It was after the Super Bowl. It was after the Super Bowl parade. He had surgery on, I think, February 21st. Let's say he comes back in 9 months. It takes you about 9 to 12 months to come back from an ACL surgery, like at a football-ready caliber. 9 months from February 21st, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Am I doing that right? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That's 8 months. That's October 21st. You could come back by 8, but not a lot of people have done that. I'm trying to remember the running back that came back after 8 months. 8-month ACL recovery, NFL running back. Who was that? It was Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson made a tremendous recovery after ACL reconstruction, opening the season just 8 months after having surgery. That's like the fastest possible. That's like miraculous. So you need at least 9 months. If he had surgery February 21st, 9 months? I mean, 8 months is October 21st. 9 months is November 21st. So you're getting into the back half of the season, or the halfway point. Yeah, it was Peterson. Thank you, Steve. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Kurt. Yeah, everybody had the answer off the top. I just should have checked chat. What do you think of the Bengals O-line signing? I lived in Cincy. What's up, Alicia? For a while, and my friends loved to troll me. Is this an upgrade or no? I did see who they signed, and I saw that he's the same size as Orlando Brown Jr. Here. Trent Brown. So the Bengals will now have 2 extra large offensive tackle Browns protecting him this season. Orlando Brown Jr., 6'8", 345 pounds, and then Trent Brown, 6'8", 370 pounds. 4 of the 5 Bengals starting offensive linemen have Super Bowl rings. Hang the banner, baby. I think it was a decent signing for the Bengals. I mean, Trent Brown, I think he's getting up there in age. He's 30. 30, formerly of, he's played with a few different teams now. Drafted by the Niners, New England, Raiders, back to New England for the last 3 years. He's had some health issues. Played 9 games in 2021, 17 in 22, and 11 in 23. I mean, it's an upgrade because I believe their tackle signed elsewhere, and they needed one. They definitely needed one. $370 at 30 is Havoc on a body. Yeah, that's big. Those are some big boys, dude. Holy smokes. Happy Tuesday. What's up, Samuel? Burrow will get sacked a lot. I mean, yeah, they do not want him to get sacked a lot, but he very well might. Jamar still chasing that ring? Yes. And the whole team is. I guess except for the linemen. What are your top 8 free agency signings thus far? What's up, Sports Productions? Top 8? I don't know if I can give you 8 specifically, but there were some wild ones. Like Russell Wilson to the Steelers was interesting. Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. Like what the Falcons offered him was like a whoa. Big one for the Chiefs, obviously, was Chris Jones. They brought back Drew Tranquill. I like the Marquise Brown signing. But that's like, those are the biggest ones for the Chiefs. What are some other crazy free agency signings off the top for you guys? Like, it could be any team. Yeah, let me know. Where do the Chiefs rate historically if we win the 3rd in a row? That's the best. It's the best 5-6 year stretch in NFL history. Yeah, Henry signing with the Ravens was interesting. A lot of running backs, dude. Eagles with Saquon was wild. Yeah, there's quite a bit with the running backs. Jacobs to the Packers. Yeah, jeez, dude. There was a lot day one with the running backs. You wish KC had kept Buechele? Well, from what I understand, Cora, is Buechele was given the option to return to the practice squad, and he himself opted to instead sign with the Bills practice squad. That's what I gathered from Andy Reid's presser after he was asked about it when Buechele signed with the Bills. Obviously, the Chiefs didn't have him making the 53, but from what I understand, Andy Reid said he chose to move on to the Bills. So they were high enough on Blaine Gabbert for him to be QB2, but I think they offered Buechele a spot back on the practice squad, but it seems like Buechele was like, nah, I just want to start over. But I don't know, because he hangs out with Mahomes. I feel like they were just hanging out recently. We'll see what's next for him. Brian Burns for nothing. Yeah, that one was interesting. Why didn't the Chiefs get Mike Williams? I mean, they don't have a lot of money right now, and they just signed one receiver. They were not going to give Mike Williams 1 year deal up to $15 million. I think Mike Williams and Hollywood Brown have the same agent as well. So the agent probably knew. He's like, dog, Chiefs ain't signing you. Yeah, they just don't have a lot of money right now. And just part of it is Sneed still on the tag, $19.8 million. Gabbert wasn't very good. He was okay. I think if they wanted to bring him back, I would be fine with it just because he would have another year in the system. We're comparing him to Chad Henne, and I think Chad Henne was a dog of a QB2 for the Chiefs. Big shoes to fill. Blaine Gabbert's first year in Andy Reid's system. Like, if they want to bring him back and give him another year, he would be better this year. But if they want to go a different direction, I'm fine with it. I don't know if it's going to be Tannehill, but that would be crazy. I thought he held that clipboard just fine. Jonathan. Jets fans are starting to chirp again about making the Super Bowl next season. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has got to stay healthy first, man. Got to stay healthy first. You don't trust any Charger player? Please answer your question. You got to ask the question because I can't see it. Better with or without Sneed? It's a complex answer only because having that $20 million available to sign some free agents is going to make the Chiefs better in some position groups, but having Sneed around on the defense is only great things for the secondary. I mean, so I don't know if it's as simple as if Sneed's gone, are the Chiefs better, or are they better if he stays? They're better in ways if he stays. But then on the flip side, if he gets traded, they get a draft pick, right? They can use that to grab another draft pick or to trade up, and they get $20 million available to sign other free agents. QB2, running back, another receiver, left tackle. Like, I don't know. I don't think they could do all of that per se. I mean, you would have to. You'd have to, like, some Vetman deal type stuff. But, yeah, that's a really tough one, man. I would love to see an extension with Sneed, super low cap hit this year, figure it out later, but that is wishful thinking, most likely on my part. Is Mahomes the GOAT if he gets the three-peat? People would argue it for sure. Sneed had like 20 pass interference calls last season. Nah, not that many pass interference calls. He had more 5-yard penalties, either holding or would it be illegal contact? It's just him being super aggressive off the line of scrimmage. I don't think it's illegal contact. I'm trying to remember what exactly it's called. What number is Hollywood Brown? Number 5. Numero uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Cinco. I'm a little rusty. Yeah, illegal contact. Okay, so I was right. Dang. I need to not second guess myself, man. What's the Chargers cap space now? Off the top of my head, I don't know, but they offloaded a lot because they restructured, I think, Bosa and Khalil Mack. They traded Keenan Allen and released Mike Williams. So they got more now, I'll tell you that. They're eager. Oh, wait, no. Cole. Or we can trade Sneed to Texans for their second or third. Jackson and maybe John Mechie the third. Ooh. Mechie would be fun. Yeah, I don't know what the Texans cap situation looks like off the top of my head. I know they've done they've made a bunch of moves in free agency. You do, as the Texans, have the luxury of CJ Stroud being on his rookie deal. But yo, if the Texans still need a DB that bad, come on now. Numero uno. That's the Chiefs. The NFL Film just dropped their Super Bowl 58. Like, mic'd up or something? I'm down. Is there another vet wide receiver you could see the Chiefs picking up? I mean, we could look at it. I mean, at this point, I'm just like, do they bring back McCole Hardman? I mean, they probably need a bigger bodied guy, but it's more of a scheme fit at this point. These are the available wide receivers. So, I mean, you do have Hunter Renfrow available. Let's go by age. You got Claypool, you got Quez Watkins, McCole Hardman, DJ Chark, Renfro again. You got Michael Gallup, Richie James. I think Byron Pringle's on this list. Yeah, Byron Pringle here. MVS, Tyler Boyd. You know, whoever they're going to bring on next, it can't be a guy that's going to be a lot of money. You know, maybe a couple million, few million with incentives. But I mean, there's the list. So you guys can tell me who you'd really like to see. But also, it's not just, oh, I would love to see this guy, he would fit. But the Chiefs also then still have to afford him. You know what I mean? Daniel with the 14 months off topic, but I sure could use some Tucker economy. Oh, yeah? Some Justin Tucker banging something. I got you.
There's still some of those ghosts of Justin Tucker banging a 60-year-old, 60-yard field goal off the crossbar and through to be.
I don't know how he kept going, dude. I would have said, hey, we're going on a commercial break. We'll be right back in a second. I would have had to get up off my seat, go look at myself in the mirror, slap my face a few times, and say, if you ever do that again, I'm firing myself. That's crazy. That's hilarious, dude. Man. Somebody said we need Hardman back. I mean, I think Hardman would be a fine guy to bring back as the returner and a guy that can plug in the offense. Just some people are hesitant. If you bring Hardman back, they're like, well, the Chiefs are then going to use him more than he needs to be used on offense instead of letting some other guys shine. I get it. But if you want to bring him back as a returner and a depth piece who knows the offense and could step up, not if, but when injuries happen, I don't mind that at all for McCole at the right price. You know, I'm not opposed to it at all. Pacey with the $. What up, dude? Ink Punt with the 5. What's up, man? I don't know really where I think Sneed is going to land. I'm starting to lean that he will stay in KC. Definitely an option. And the option from there is if he stays in KC, he's either on the tag or works out some deal with the Chiefs, 2-3-year deal. It's not going to be $20+ million a year APY. I think this defense won't be as good. Yeah, okay, so that's a better way to talk about no Sneed. The defense will definitely not be as good without Sneed. You know, the good things you have going for you is a decent cornerback room or defensive back room in general with Chamari Connor, Brian Cook, and then you've got Dave Merritt, the defensive backs coach, one of the best in the business. You do have Steve Spagnuolo, best defensive coordinator in the game in my position, I almost said my position, my opinion. And you've got Trent McDuffie. You do have Jalen Watson. You have Josh Williams, but you've got other, like Najee Johnson is returning from injury. You've got him. Nick Jones is coming into year 2. They probably draft another defensive back, maybe a late round guy, which they're very good at drafting late round guys and developing them. L'Jarius Sneed, for example, was a 4th round pick, and it took him a few years, but dude, he was getting better every single year. So yeah, I would love it if Sneed could stay in Kansas City. The defense will be better to have Sneed here, but that $20 million is definitely, unless the Chiefs make some other moves, affecting their ability to get some other positions filled for sure. Thanks so much for the 5, man. What is our cap space? It's roughly like $7, $8, $9 million. That's a rough ballpark. I can go. I mean, we can look at Spot Track right now, but I don't know. Like it says right now, the Chiefs have 15.8 million. That's their top 51. But I don't think that's right. I don't think that's completely right. Because I think you don't have Hollywood's contract in there. I think it's closer to like 8-9 million. Somewhere right around there. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know. You know what? I'll just look on Twitter because we got Chiefs cap space. Well, Chiefs cap says 15.5 million as well, but they haven't updated it since March 12th. So I don't think that's updated. Yeah, that was before Hollywood. Yeah, that's what I thought. Did we just sign someone? I don't think so. If we did, that's breaking news. Let me look. I don't think so, though. No. Somebody said Cole do a mock draft. Well, unless you're, I mean, maybe the new people don't know. I am not the draft guy. We could probably do a mock draft. Might do a members only mock draft, to be honest, on the next members only stream. You guys are going to have to help me. What I'm going to do for draft content is just cover potential draft, some of the most realistic draft candidates for the Chiefs at certain position groups. We'll look at some of the most mocked guys to the Kansas City Chiefs, but I don't really, in my opinion, have enough draft knowledge to do a 7-round mock for the Chiefs. My knowledge is not there. But KCSN, RGR, all chiefed up from what I understand. Those guys are probably could all do one. Am I going to stream during the NFL draft? Yes, we will definitely do that. I stream that every year. Are we getting Hardman back? I have no idea. He's still a free agent. I don't think he would be that expensive. It is definitely a possibility. You think you see Kelsey news about the 5th grader show? Or did you see it? Yeah, I only saw just that one report on it about Kelsey hosting a Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader reboot. I mean, I'm definitely not opposed to the idea. I would watch it. I would definitely watch it. I'm trying to find it. If this is accurate from Barbecue Chiefs, report Travis Kelce in talks to host Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader reboot on Amazon Prime. I would watch it. I'm sure some of you guys would too. Something else that's interesting that I saw was the new documentary series called Receiver that's coming out this summer, featuring Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Would have loved to see Kelsey in that, dude, just as a guy who is injured a couple times this past season. He dealt through injuries, like with injuries, and battled through them. Hyperextended his knee, hurt his ankle, was definitely banged up. The Chiefs offense was slacking at times, just compared to previous years, and they fought through that adversity and ended up winning the Super Bowl. Like, having Kelsey in that would have been freaking awesome. But obviously they could have asked him and he said no. Like, he's dating Taylor Swift. He probably doesn't want cameras all up in their business as it is, even though he's basically mic'd up and just followed around at the games and they do like a little bit of BTS stuff. He could have said no. Some people are like, well, George Kittle's not a receiver. I get it. But why not have a tight end in there? I like Kittle. It'll probably be a fun watch. Definitely intrigued about that. I'm not as excited about it as I was, obviously, for quarterback, because we knew Patrick Mahomes was the feature and they won the Super Bowl. But still, it'd be good. What do you think about Felix last year? What's up, Ki? Thanks for the 2. I mean, Felix Anudike-Uzomah last year, kind of a redshirt year for him. He was a first-round pick by the Chiefs, but he had some off-season. I think he had an off-season surgery, got hurt as well, maybe a hamstring. I'm trying to remember what the other issue was. It set him back throughout OTAs and training camp, was playing catch-up, and then was just in a battle in a D-line that was pretty good. Karlaftis, Omenihu, Mike Dana. I mean, those guys were getting reps over FAU all day, specifically on the end. So FAU to me, like, I want to watch him this year, and I need to see the uptick this year. I'm not saying he goes instantly from playing whatever it was, 15, 20% of snaps last year to 60+ percentage of snaps this next year, and he's just a dominant starter. I don't even necessarily know that I need to see that. I just need to see a definite uptick in usage and production. So I'm going to be weighing in a little bit more on FAU this year rather than what I saw from him last year, because we didn't see much last year, and I think that's okay. Jabin with the 2. What's up, man? Mahomes and McCole Hardman look like kid and play? I don't know what that is. What is that? Oh, hip hop duo? Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, I definitely recognize them. The kid and play hip hop duo from the 80s, but I definitely recognize this. Yo, somebody Photoshop McCole Hardman and Mahomes on these two. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Thanks for the 2, Jabin. Raphael with the 5. What's up, dude? Appreciate that. Honestly, 2 49ers suck. I would have replaced Kittle with Waller, married to Kelsey Plum, etc., or replaced Debo with Ridley on his redemption. Ridley would have been an awesome one, dude, because he had a good season too. Yeah, receiver's going to be interesting. My question is, what position group are they going to do next year? You going to do running back? Maybe a defensive back? Or what? Defensive ends? Defensive linemen? Like Chris Jones with some crazy edge rushers would be fun. Like, who are they going to do next year, huh? What's up, Sean? Sean said, hey, Cole, did you ever pick someone for that freelance spot? No, not yet. I did have another meeting today with somebody. But we're still working through it. It's not like a huge rush to bring in more help, but I do have some nice goals and aspirations for the channel and some of the content around the channel on social media this season. 100%. T up. What's up, dude? T1 up, rather. With the 10 bomb? Dude, appreciate you, man. Let's go. I DM'd you on Twitter if you're still looking. Oh, dude, thank you. Yeah, I actually have, I have so many DMs from that, but I still need to go through some more and look through them. So I appreciate you following up with that. The Titans and Chiefs star cornerback L'Jarius Sneed have had talks over the last 24 hours. It was reported that both the Titans and the Colts had come close to acquiring Sneed, but things ultimately fell through. Sneed to the Titans? What are we thinking? Sneed to the Titans would certainly be interesting. Oh, I can't forget this, guys. My family went to Arrowhead today. They had the tour with my daughter's school. They had a tour with my daughter's school. Let me see if I could pull up. Look at this. Look at this. It's my daughter's at Mahomes' locker. Let's go. They love that. And then, where else are we here? Here's all 3 of them. Let me drag this one over. There's my wife and 2 kids. My pride and joy. I thought they sent more photos of the tour. They got to go they were on the sideline of the field too. And then they took a picture next to Rashee Rice's locker as well. Pretty cool. Sean with the 10. What's up, dude? I'm about to post my full 20 prospect Chiefs wide receiver draft outlook tonight. I select my top 5 and highlight players to avoid. I'm breaking it down by round. All wide receivers except Marvin Harrison Jr., Neighbors, and Dunes. Okay. Where, Sean? Let me know. That'll be an interesting watch, so let me know. Appreciate the 10 bomb, brother. KI with a 5. I honestly think Hollywood is the best wide receiver on the Chiefs roster. Impacts every level on top of being a deep threat. Haven't had that since Tyreek. I mean, dude, I don't even know if you could argue it as long as he stays healthy. Like, I know he's had some foot/ankle issues the past 2 seasons. He played 12 games 2 seasons ago, 14 games last year, I think is what it looked like. But yeah, that's no disrespect either to Rashee Rice, but I do think Hollywood might be a little bit more dynamic. However, the Chiefs did say they want to use Rice. They want to expand his role next year. So I'm definitely curious just to see what it looks like next season with Kelsey, who I would think in theory, we keep saying this, they're going to maybe start to they're just going to start throttling down his overall snap counts. We've been saying that, and he's been playing all the snaps. So I don't know about that, but I'll be curious to see how that looks with Kelsey, with Rice, and with Hollywood Brown. I am very excited about the Hollywood Brown signing. He's a kid who loves to play the game, super humble beginnings, grateful for, just kind of per his own words, grateful for the journey and where God has brought him. He basically took a pay cut in some regard to play for the Chiefs. He said, look, I came from nothing. I'm blessed by God to make the money that I make. And he's like, I wanted to come to the Chiefs because I wanted to win. I was like, all right now, dude, let's freaking run that. We could run that all day. Yeah, I'm definitely excited about the signing of Marquise Hollywood Brown, 100%. Is Tony still on the team? Yes. Still on the team. Hasn't been released or anything like that. You benefit nothing from releasing Tony because it's $2.5 million in dead cap and his cap hit is $2.5 million. So you either trade him for what? A 7th round pick? I don't even know. Or you just keep him on the roster and try to get the best out of him next season, or this coming season, I guess, rather, considering it's just a $2.5 million cap hit. But yeah, Tony's still on the team. Is there a chance the Chiefs get Xavier Worthy? Yeah. I mean, I would consider him an option for the Chiefs at wide receiver, round 1. I don't think he would be available at 64. I'd be pretty surprised. I've seen him go relatively early in some mock drafts. When I say relatively early, like 18, 19, 20. There's very little reason to sign another free agent wide receiver. I think I just respectfully disagree a little bit just because they're missing 3 basically starters from last year. MVS, McCole Hardman, Richie James. The only role that they've filled is MVS. They released MVS and signed Marquise Brown. I do think they could probably benefit from signing one more veteran wide receiver. It could be after the draft. There's no pressing need to do it right now. And I have been saying if they do bring in another veteran wide receiver, it's probably like a vet min guy. They definitely don't have to right now, and they go into the draft, see how that plays out. And you're right. I can't remember who said that, but there is definitely a scenario that plays out where they just draft a wide receiver and they roll with that room. But I would like a little bit more depth in case of injury, because you're going to have what? Rashee Rice, Marquise Brown, Justin Watson, Sky Moore. He's unproven at this point in time if he's going to contribute. Kadarius Toney, unproven. Will he stay healthy? I don't even know. He was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl. What's up, Malik? You have Justin Watson again, but then some other what ifs. Yeah, like Nico Remigio, Anthony Miller, Justin Ross, Shai Smith, Cornell Powell. I mean, I think you probably needed one more. Time to smoke. Okay, Desi. Okay. Ross Breakout said Darth Vader, I'm delusional. Oh, man. There's definitely less Justin Ross talk right now. I'll tell you that much. Yo, Finn Productions with the 5 bomb. What's up, man? Thanks so much for the 5. Hope you're doing fantastic. If you have a question, feel free to leave it in chat. Try to get it answered. Mike Edwards visited the Colts yesterday, and then he visited okay, that's who it was, and then he visited the Bills today. And David said, I'm on the McConkey bandwagon. Hey, man, I'm a little biased to him because he's Irish. I wouldn't turn that down. Just depends on how the board falls, but I don't mind the idea. I know some people would rather have Adonai over him. I'd probably agree. I don't know if Adonai will be available, but don't mind it at all. Ink Punt with the 10 bomb. How long have you been a fan? And your favorite KC team, for example, my favorite, is the 2016-2017 KC defense was nasty. I've been a fan since 2014. I'm 17, so I consider myself a lifelong fan. That's awesome, dude. I've been a fan. I mean, I was born in 1991 in Kansas City, and my family was all Chiefs fans. So I was in Chiefs onesies and little jerseys as a kid. And my favorite player is Derek Thomas all time. Favorite Chiefs team? I mean, I don't remember all the years kind of blend together, but when I was younger, it was fun watching it was definitely in the late 90s, but I liked watching, or maybe mid 90s. It was before Neil Smith went to the Broncos, liked watching the Chiefs defense specifically. I had a lot of fun in the era of Jamal Charles, some fun offenses, even some Priest Holmes was fun. But my favorite, there's just something to me about the 2018 Chiefs offense, 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. I understand they didn't win the big game, but dude, the 2018 Chiefs offense was freaking crazy. It was crazy. Somebody said, did we sign Donovan Smith? Not yet. He's still a free agent. So there's an option at left tackle potentially after the draft if he's still available. Maybe a back, what is a backdoor handshake or whatever. Like, hey, we're gonna sign you after the draft if you're available. That's not the right terminology, but that's what they did last year. So he could be available. How do you feel about Mike Williams signing with the Jets? I mean, that's okay. It would be cool to see him with the Chiefs, but they don't have a lot of money right now, and I don't think the Chiefs were going to get a 1 year, $15 million for Mike Williams, even though Mike Williams is a great guy. He's just 30, I think, right? And coming off the ACL, it's tough. I saw Mike Edwards talk with the Colts. Did he sign? Nah, he visited with them yesterday and then visited with the Bills today. Could sign one of those places soon, potentially. Last year, I started watching in 2018. Pat Mahomes, 50 TDs, was unstoppable. Dude. Yes, sir, Tristan. Let's see. How many here are old enough to be Cole's parent? Storm said one here. Dude, this is crazy. People raise their eyebrows when I say this. I'm 32 and my mom's 49 and my dad's 50. No, he just turned 51. My mom is 49 and my dad's 51. I'm 32. Now everybody in chat saying I am. Oh, shoot. Hey, we went to the park on Saturday, and this very nice lady came up to me. Her name was Sandy. I don't want to assume her age, but she was 65 plus. She was the sweetest lady. Literally came up to me and said, how about those Chiefs guy? Said yes. She's like, I love your videos. And her question was, are we going to keep L'Jarius Sneed? Super nice lady. I don't know if she's watching right now, but it was really good meeting her. It was really good meeting her. And then today was at Starbucks for a meeting. I don't like their coffee. Just throwing that out there, but it was a really good meeting spot for where I had to meet. And this kid came up to me, and it's just, I'm saying this to say all ages watch this channel. This kid came up to me and he was like 10-ish, 12, 11, somewhere around there. Dude, are you how about this Chiefs guy? He asked for a selfie. It was really cool. But so that was like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old. And then 65, 70-year-old caught me at the park. So it's like we get the spectrum of ages watching this channel, and I am extremely humbled by that. Like the fact that a 10-year-old can watch the channel and love it, as well as a 65, 70-year-old can watch a channel and love it. Like, that's freaking awesome to me. And I'm really humbled by that. What the heck, dude? Speaking of high numbers, Zach Hogan with the 50 bomb. I just yelled into the mic, my bad. But dude, 50 bomb? Holy smoke, Zach. He said, really glad the Chiefs took a chance on Trey Smith. Oh, facts. Steal of the draft as far as the value you're getting out of a guy that late in the draft. I think he's one of the most underrated guards in the NFL. I know it's hard to keep everyone, but I hope they find a way to keep him. So, thoughts on Trey Smith real quick, Zach. Bro, guards this offseason were getting paid left, right, up, and down. I mean, Trey Smith is looking around like, yo, I'm about to get a bag in free agency next year, unless he can work something out with the Chiefs. I understand just what you said. You can't pay everyone, but would love to see him back. I agree. You can't pay everyone, and so the Chiefs are going to be like, well, you pay Nick Bolton, you got Creed Humphrey on the radar, you got Trey Smith. Dude, Trey Smith is going to get a bunch of money in free agency if the Chiefs don't bring him back, and they can't work out a deal. James Johnson said, I told you, Cole. What did you tell me? What did you tell me, James? Let's see. As well as Creed and Bolton, they've been really good for us. Yeah, that's the tough decision. Bolton, Trey Smith, and Creed. Can't keep them all. Clip said Creed ain't going nowhere. That's the guy I'm most confident in. I feel like that's priority number one, Creed Humphrey. Then Nick Bolton, then Trey Smith. But I could be wrong and off on that. Rescind the franchise tag? Yeah, Greg, that is an option for L'Jarius Sneed. You definitely can. I don't know if that's the most, likely scenario that plays out, but I'm not going to rule it out because it definitely could happen. When exactly is the draft? Said Fred. I think it's the last weekend in April, 2024 NFL draft. It is the 25th through the 27th. So it's Thursday, April 25th to Saturday, April 27th. I'll go live Thursday night. I'll go live Friday night. Saturday is day 3. I don't think I'm going to go live there, but we will make content all draft long about who the Chiefs pick and end up drafting and all that. It's going to be a wild one, that's for sure. Thanks so much for the 5, Zach. Thanks again for the 50 bomb, dude. Ink Punt with the 10. Finn with the 5. KI. Sean T. 1-Up. Raphael. I mean, dude, the list goes on. Appreciate y'all. And KI is back with another one. Dude, thank you, man. Said, do you think the Chiefs will invest ahead of time at wide receiver, like getting a dude and paying some big money? Once Kelsey finally slows down or retires, a revolving door of wide receivers is going to be tough to rely on. Okay, so do you think the Chiefs will invest ahead of time at wide receiver? Without having to send another super chat, KI, can you just comment? Can you give me some clarity here on what exactly you mean by that? When you say ahead of time at wide receiver, are you talking about like now? Like before the draft? I did mention earlier, I think the wide receiver room is one that you've got to kind of watch out for, because the only guy you really have under contract for multiple years at this point in time is Rashee Rice. You drafted him last year. Sky is in year 3 and still kind of unproven. Kadarius Toney is on his last year. Justin Watson signed a 2-year deal and is now on his last year. MVS gone. Richie James gone. McCole Hardman gone. You need to start investing. If you're just saying investing ahead of time before Travis Kelce goes, like, yeah, I think you have to consider that. Brett Veach and company, they're looking years ahead. So they're not just thinking about this offseason. They're thinking about next and the year after that, looking at who's under contract, when their contracts expire, who's going to still be on their rookie deal, what the cap hits are going to be. Chris Jones has some big ones coming up. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, they kind of need to invest ahead of time at wide receiver. He said like getting a dude and paying some big money. The money is just tough for the Chiefs right now, especially when you think about like Chris Jones's cap hits are insane in the next year or two. Not this year. It's only like $7.5 million, but his are getting up there. Mahomes will be getting up there. You do need, like, dude, could Marquise Brown get extended for a couple of years? I mean, maybe, but you need, you definitely need a dude. I think Rashee is a dude, but at this point in time, I think the Chiefs need to hope and pray they land another wide receiver in the draft, like somebody that like sticks. Because if you look at some of their other receivers that they've drafted, like they've been okay, but go back to the Veach draft years. If I go Chiefs draft by year and we just like look at them real quick, I'm just going to pull this up. We've done this before. Brett Veach's first draft. Here you go. Who the is that guy? Okay. So case in point about 2018. Okay. 2019. Obviously, McCole Hardman went off the board. He was okay for the Chiefs. That was also the year they weren't probably sure they were going to get Tyreek Hill. Like, they didn't know what was going to happen with him because he was going through some legal stuff. Okay. They didn't even get a guy in 2020. They got CEH in round 1. Cornell Powell in 2021. Okay. And then Sky Moore in 2022. Rashee Rice is the only wide receiver, in my opinion, McCole Hardman, I feel like, is okay. McCole is okay. If you look at his production over the years, like, that was pretty good. Okay. Rashee Rice, so far, that's been your best one. So the Chiefs need to really hope that whoever they draft at wide receiver this year sticks, because just with all these other contracts that they've got working through, like Jawan Taylor's contract is not small. I already said Chris Jones. You got Mahomes. Joe Tooney's not the smallest cap hits. I mean, there's others to look at too. Kelsey's. But they could maybe sign a big guy to a big deal. within the next couple of years, but you need to land in the draft and you need to make sure he freaking hits, dude. Obviously, you can't guarantee that, but like that's the best way I see them going forward with the wide receiver room. Obviously, vets always have to be a part of it, but I think it's very important this year and next year they hit on wide receivers in the draft. Because, yeah, they're not cheap. A good, solid, productive wide receiver is not cheap. You know, they got Marquise Brown, but it was kind of like the Juju thing. He's coming off of a down year, hasn't been healthy every year. He did end both seasons with foot or ankle injuries 2 years in a row. It wasn't a ton of games missed, 4 1 year, 2 the next, or 5 1 year, 3 the next, whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, if you're specifically saying KI, and I know I'm kind of long-winded in this answer, but it's kind of important. Will they invest ahead of time at wide receiver, given the fact that Kelsey only has a couple more years, kind of a thing, and they don't have a lot of wide receivers locked up long-term? I mean, they have to at some point. You got away with trading Hill. He wanted to be paid the highest APY for a wide receiver. He wanted to reset the market. He got it. You got draft picks, and you won back-to-back Super Bowls. Like, you got away with that. It's worked. But you have had Travis Kelce carrying the brunt of that workload. He's not getting any younger. Rice helped last year. But yeah, they definitely got to pay attention to that. 100%, man. Thanks so much for the 10. Chris Kelly with the 20. What's up, dude? Thank you, man. Been watching for a while. Appreciate you. Oh, thanks, man. First super on a live stream? No, I appreciate you, Chris. If you're Veach, oh boy. What is your approach on the draft? I'm thinking offensive tackle, wide receiver, then maybe defensive end or cornerback. I see good stuff in the late rounds. Yeah, so if you're talking first three rounds particularly, that is a very valid order. I could see them going. Offensive tackle is a big need. Wide receiver is a big need. So you could either go wide receiver round 1, offensive tackle round 2. If you trade Sneed, you might have 2 third-round picks. Just going to throw that out there. So you might be able to get a defensive end or a cornerback. They might need to also, man, Chris, consider defensive tackle, because you have Neil Farrell and Chris Jones under contract in the tackle room for multiple years. I think everybody else in the tackle room, quote me if I'm wrong, somebody in chat, I think those are the only 2 under contract for more than 1 year. You've got Isaiah Buggs on a 1 year, Mike Pennell on a 1 year, Mike Dana on a 1 year, Turk Wharton on a 1 year. So I do think defensive tackle is a sneaky need. I don't know what round that goes. It could be 3, it could be 4. If you're saying cornerback because of L'Jarius Sneed going, I could see them if they're high enough on a defensive back round 3, you know, because like Jalen Watson and Joshua Williams have been cool. Neil and none. Well, Neil and Chris Jones, Brandon. But Neil and none. I like that though. But yeah, I mean, if you're like, hey, we're going to take a swing on a guy that we think could come in and instantly fight for the CB2 spot, maybe out, like if Sneed's not around, CB2 spot after Trent McDuffie, even if Sneed is around, he's only here for 1 more year unless they somehow get a long-term deal done with him. So I actually like where you're going there. Yeah, the only other position I could think would be outside of offensive tackle, wide receiver, and either a defensive back or defensive lineman. If you want to go end, that's fine too, though, Chris. If you're thinking end because there's no Mike Dana and Charles Omenihu won't be back until the second half of the season, like I get that, and that could definitely be a valid way to go. You know, they do have BJ Thompson, FAU. They brought back Malik Herring. They've got Karlaftis. But yeah, if you want to bring a guy in there to really compete with the room, to raise the floor and just add some competition, like I could see that as well. Dude, let's just put it this way. As much as I appreciate your support, Chris, I am so glad I'm not Brett Veach, because that is freaking impossible. I could never run a team. It would be so stressful. I would lose my hair. Too late. Bad joke. Veach looks like he's aged about 10 years over the last 2, but they have won back-to-back Super Bowls, so that's been fire. Yeah, late round stuff too. I mean, running back, you've got to get a running back. You need offensive guard. I think you need some guard depth, some offensive line depth as well. So I would assume the Chiefs take keep most of those picks and just try to draft as well as they possibly can. Stay young because of some of these big cap hits from some of their other players. Thanks again, man, for the kind words and the 20 bomb. Probably didn't answer that perfectly, but hopefully was somewhat satisfactory. I did try with that one. Sean with the 10. What's up, dude? Sent the preview in Discord, and I will record audio after I drop from here. Sent a roster breakdown with total players per position under contract and depth that gives an idea what we could draft. Are you talking about on YouTube? If so, dope. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. Definitely have to check that out, man. Thanks again for another 10 bomb, Sean. Darrell with the 2. Soon you'll be up there with Jake from State Farm. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I saw Jake from State Farm. Who did he dab up at a basketball game? Who did he dab up at a basketball game recently, guys? Who was it? Somebody in chat, let me know. Because it was so funny. Was it Travis Scott? Was it Travis Scott? It was some celebrity. And he was like, yo, you're dabbing me up? It was pretty funny. Travis Scott, that's hilarious, dude. I had to laugh at that. He was like, this fool knows me? Yeah, okay, it was Travis Scott. That's hilarious. Love it. Darrell, thanks again for the 2. Sean, yeah, I'll definitely check that out, man. Let me know. I'll listen through it. Fred with the 5. Let's go, man. I don't know why I said 5 and did this. What does this mean? Don't know. Fred said, where do you see the Chiefs in 10 years? Oh my gosh. In 10 years, I'll be 42. Still holding it down in my basement covering Chiefs news. We've got 2 million subs. I'm just kidding. I don't know. The Chiefs in 10 years. I mean, I don't want to speculate too long because that's like a lot could go change, but Andy Reid's probably not coaching. Kelsey's done. Chris Jones done. I mean, that's a whole new Chiefs era. Mahomes by that point will be what? 37, 38. He could be on his last couple of years. I mean, 10 years from now, you're looking at that's the whole complete different chapter of the Kansas City Chiefs. Almost every single person you could think of won't be on the team other than maybe Patrick Mahomes. That's actually kind of depressing. Holy smokes. 8 more Super Bowls? Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. Harris said you haven't done the 60-year-old? I did earlier, but I got you.
There's still some of those ghosts of Justin Tucker banging a 60-year-old 60-yard field goal off the crossbar and through to be...
James said you're a good guy, Cole, good streamer. Thanks so much, James. I appreciate you being here, man. It's always fun holding it down. I didn't even realize there's 800 people in here. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. It's a fun time. Like, free agency was insane last week. There was a lot, but at the same time, like the Chiefs didn't make a ton of moves. Their biggest splashes outside of Marquise Brown was re-signing Drew Tranquil and Chris Jones. But I mean, we still popped out 5 videos, 4 live streams, and like 4 or 5 YouTube shorts. It was a fun week. It's just free agency is weird because I just feel like I always have to stare at Twitter. I'm in a meeting today, and I basically said, hey, man, I'm sorry if I check Twitter because if Sneed gets traded, I have to go. It was a guy that I was talking with about bringing on the team, so, like, he understood. But I would have rather not have to check my phone. I was in a meeting for an hour and a half, and I think I checked my phone 3 times. And a quick glance, just making sure Sneed is not traded because I would have had to run home. But free agency is like a crazy time. I try not to leave the house or go far from the house. Every Thursday, I go on a little like daddy-daughter date with one of my kids, and we just go like to a restaurant like super close. And I'm like, I was waiting for the wide receiver signing. Feel a little pressure lifted since Marquise got signed, but man, free agency is a crazy time. Harris with the 5. Let's go, man. I appreciate that. Let's get it, man. If it's either Creed, Bolton, or Trey's last season with us, let's give them one more Super Bowl. 100% Zach. 3-peat. Come on now. Yo, what's up, Bree? Please bring Chris Jones back. And one more thing. How about those Chiefs? I mean, yeah, Chris Jones is back. He signed a big old 5-year, $165 million, $158 million deal. So he's back. Back again. for at least a few more years. So big deal happened there. Chris is back. Let's go. If the Chiefs do in fact three-peat, what is Mahomes saying on the stage? Let's do a four-peat, or you think there's a big drop-off? I think he might lose his mind on stage if the Chiefs won 3 Super Bowls in a row, because as soon as they won 2, he literally just said, I won 3. Nobody's ever done 3. We got to get another one. We got to get another one. And, you know, some people see that and they're like, well, why doesn't he just enjoy the moment? Just enjoy the win and worry about that in a second. I see that and I'm like, this dude's a freaking monster. He just won 2 Super Bowls in a row. I think only 7 teams have ever won back-to-back. A couple teams have done it more than once. He just won back-to-back Super Bowls. He did celebrate initially on the field. Like, remember, he ran and fell over and was happy. But then he literally was like, all right, that's done. We need a third. I'm ready for the third. Mahomes is built different, dude. These guys are wired just very uniquely. That's not like a diss, but it's like if you guys know who David Goggins is, I just listened through his book. Dude, David Goggins went through Hell Week 3 times. He's a Navy SEAL. You guys probably know who it is. It's the guy that always runs with his shirt off and yells at the camera. Crazy journey, crazy story. But he would like do something crazy, like run a 200-mile race and be like, all right. He can barely walk. His feet are swollen. He's got stress fractures. And he's like, all right, what's the next one? I want the next one. I'm never satisfied. Like, these guys are wired different, dude. Just different. That's that championship mindset. That's just special. That's just special. David with the 5. Let's go, man. He said, at this point, does Sneed sign his tag soon or get a long-term contract to stay with the Chiefs? Well, I don't think you really have to do anything till July. And I think Sneed could hold off and not sign for a while longer after that. You've got till after the draft if you want. If they're not going to trade him, meaning he could take his time to sign his tag. So I think they'll have time to negotiate through that. The problem is, if the Chiefs want to make some other moves and there is a realistic possibility of an extension, I think the Chiefs would want to get that done sooner rather than later. I actually think the Chiefs probably offered Sneed something. Hey, man, here's the deal we're comfortable with. If you want to take a look at it, you know, maybe they offered nothing. Like Tyrann Mathieu, remember when he was gone? He was like, yeah, they offered me nothing. I would have signed for Justin Reed's contract. Well, it was clear the Chiefs are going in a different direction. But with Sneed, it's like, maybe they really did offer him a deal. Hey, man, here's what we can do. Let me know if that's all right. But we also understand you're probably going to get offered more in free agency, and you have permission to seek a trade if you can find something that you're happy with. If they want to get some other moves made without restructuring or extending somebody, you've got to get Sneed's cap hit down via an extension, or he's got to get traded before the draft, most likely. Yeah, they could also rescind the tag, Storm. That is another option. I feel like that's like the last resort option, but you could just be like, hey, never mind, rescind the tag before he signs it. You're letting him walk into free agency to sign anywhere, and you get that $20 million back. That's definitely an option. You're right, Storm. We talked about that a little bit earlier. David, thanks again for the 5. Andrew with the 5. Let's go, man. Love the show. Who do you think the Chiefs get in the draft? If they go early receiver, you hope Roman Wilson. If late, hope late flyer Ryan Flournoy from SEMO. Hey, man, you're going to talk circles around me in the draft. I'm like in round 1. That's about as far as I am right now in the draft study. I make a deliberate choice in the NFL season to take Saturdays completely off. I don't watch college ball. So by the time the NFL season ends, I'm pretty freaking behind on draft content. I don't really start it till after the main wave of free agency, so I'm just now getting started. So I don't really have a person for you as far as who they get in the draft. I mean, I've seen some interesting mocks to the Chiefs as far as the wide receiver room goes. I would love it if they could get Adonai Mitchell. I don't know if that's possible. I've seen Ladd linked to them as well. Ladd McConkey. Obviously, Xavier Worthy's been in conversation just because the Chiefs seem infatuated with smaller, speedy guys. And here's the other thing, guys, in regards to the wide receiver room too. Someone might say, well, there's no reason why they need Xavier Worthy. I don't know if Xavier will be available then or if he'll go in round 2. I'm just not sure. But dude, Marquise Brown is only on a 1-year deal. McCole Hardman is gone. They don't have the short, speedy guy next year. So they could take him. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying Brett Veach and company, I'm going to trust them. And if they're high enough on Worthy, they're going to get him. I'm not sure that they do that. But I'll be curious, definitely curious to see. I wonder when, if they go, you said if they go early, you're hoping Roman Wilson. When is he projected to go? Yeah, when is he projected to go? Would the Chiefs be able to get him? Thanks so much for the 5, man. I'd love to trade up for Dunza or Brian Thomas Jr. I think that's who Sean was talking about, Brian Thomas Jr. Second round? Okay, second. So you think the Chiefs, could they get him at 64 or no? If it's round 2-3 from Darth Vane, then maybe they could get him in 2. Yeah, Brian Thomas is going in the first. Yeah, that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Roman Wilson. Yeah, Brian Thomas going in the first for sure. Yes, sir. I just pulled my phone out of my pocket and it was trying to publish a clip from the stream. Hey, whoa, easy, Justin. Easy, Justin's phone. What are you doing? Roman Wilson probably second round. All right, bet. Yeah, I'm getting in. I'm gonna go when you're looking at positions of need. I'm gonna first study probably the first 2 rounds, maybe 3 of wide receivers, then the first 2 to 3 rounds of offensive tackles, and then we'll probably go. I don't know if we'll go DT after that or what, but I'm definitely going offensive tackle and wide receivers first, and as I dig deeper into the draft. Oh, okay. Your name's Preston. What's up, Preston? My bad. My bad, bro. What up, dude? Yo, Fred is back with another one. You crazy man. He said, if we host the AFC championship game again this year, will you be in attendance at GEHA? And did you vote yes or no? I haven't voted. If you're talking about the thing we're supposed to vote for the upgrades to happen, I have not. Don't hate me, but I'm actually pretty bad about going out and voting. I know. Bad Cole. You bad, bad man. I will say this. I don't go to Chiefs playoff games anymore because the Chiefs are 0-3 when I've been to a playoff game. Every playoff game I've been to for the Chiefs, they've lost. And the last playoff game I went to for the Chiefs was the AFC Championship game, Chiefs versus Bengals, where the Chiefs blew that second half lead and lost. So no, I'm probably not going to a playoff game. I will go to a regular season game. Yeah. I definitely want to go to a regular season game this year. I didn't go this past year, but I want to. Yeah, watch on the couch is more comfy. Yeah, Spangler said, thank you for not going. I'll tell you this. Since I haven't gone to a Chiefs game, they've won back-to-back Super Bowls. Maybe I should just not go until they don't make one. Reeps, what's up, dude? I know exactly who will be drafted, the opposite of what people will anticipate. So who is it? What's up, Reeps? The heck is up, dude? Who is it? Give us the answer. Chris Kelly said, stay home, bro. Spangler said, Cole for the 3-peat. Bro, 3-peat. Come on now. I'm already getting amped. What's up, Landon? Let me check Twitter and make sure nobody signed. Nope. No Chiefs moves. Back to back to back. Every tribe. Cole, stay away. All right. Yo, every tribe. I got to try your coffee, dude. I'm not going to lie. Let me know how I can try some. I'll buy a bag. I keep seeing your name, though, and I'm like, I need to try it. Maybe I already have tried your coffee. We've had a few people send it in, but I need to try it. I need a refresher. What's up with Tony? Not sure, Caesar. He's on the roster. Could very well play. Just, it's hard to know at this point in time. Andrew, what's up, dude? My girlfriend and I flew back to KC for the AFC Championship. Heartbreaking, but fun. It was a fun experience. I was there early, watched them warm up. It was actually like pretty decent weather for an AFC Championship game. It was like chilly, but not that bad. And yeah, it was a heartbreaking loss. Zach B said, did anyone sign Mike Dana yet? No, sir. From what I understand, he's still a free agent, and hopefully he's a Kansas City Chief. Twisted Ginger? What's up with the facepalm? What happened? Darrell said, Cole, I hate Twitter, but I love trolling. I've calmed down on Twitter. I mean, I'm still kind of sarcastic from time to time. I don't have time to argue back and forth with people. And if I do, I don't even try to argue. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. When I first was on Twitter on my HBTC channel, I would just rip into people because I don't care. But then I'm realizing, well, dude, the bigger the channel grows, like a lot of people like actually like watch my content and like it. So I'm like, all right, I probably shouldn't rip into people. It's not very polite. So I do troll around, especially with other fan bases, but I try to give Chiefs Kingdom people the benefit of the doubt. Let's put it that way. Are we keeping Sneed? To be determined, Dragon Skull. We've talked about it a couple different times in this stream, and I wish I had a clear answer for you. Eagle sign, yeah, Gardner Johnson back. I did see that. Are any good tackles still available in free agency? Good tackles? I mean, there's some tackles available. Mekhi Becton. I don't know if he's left or right, to be honest. There's some tackles, though. I could pull it up. It's nothing that's like, oh, yeah. That's the needle mover. Here, I'm going to Spot Track and pulling specifically up left tackles. Here you go. Left tackle free agents. There you go. Tyron Smith is gone. Got Cornelius Lucas, David Bakhtiari, Charles, I think it's Leno, Dwayne Brown, and Donovan Smith. Looking at this list, I'm fine to run it back, I guess, with Donovan Smith. I mean, you don't have much of a choice here. You don't have much of a choice. Yeah, so Hollywood is already training with Mahomes. Yep. You would draft an O-line in the first round. Yeah, Trey, I mean, that is definitely an option. And I think if the Chiefs don't bring in a vet, I think you have to go tackle as early as you can. You kind of need a fallback plan, though. I almost said fallback plan, just in case you're not able to get a tackle early enough. Like, you're not trying to pigeonhole yourself and if that's the right phrasing, and just force yourself into taking a particular position within a particular round, because that's when stuff can kind of backfire. So you need a contingency plan, and maybe that contingency plan would be a Donovan Smith or somebody, because that's what happened last year immediately after the draft. Tongue twisted Cole is funny, dude. I just battled through a lot right there. Cornelius Lucas, good old K-State. He's there. He's available. Will Deion Bush replace Mike Edwards? What's up, Ryan? I think Chamari Connor will replace Mike Edwards. He is an absolute dog. Played 5 positions back there in the secondary his rookie year. Dave Merritt said he's got one of the highest IQs of a rookie defensive back he's ever coached. And if Dave Merritt's saying that, he means it. I think the next man up is Chamari Connor. Outside of B. Cook and Justin Reed, that's if B. Cook is fine with his foot. I think he will be. His ankle, it got turned 180 on the field. Yeah, I think Chamari Connor's the next man up. Derek D, what's up, man? Cole, since you like the Tucker clip so much, have you ever seen the video where Nathaniel Hackett talks about ears? It is equally weird and hilarious. I think I have, but it's been a while. Let me see if I can find it. If I can find it on Twitter, we can watch it together. How would I find it? I don't see it. Am I spelling Hackett right? I haven't. If I can find that clip, we'll watch it. What about YouTube? Would YouTube have it? Let's see. Nathaniel Hackett ears. I can't find it. Let's see. Left tackle free agents full of geriatrics and NFL ears. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough. There's not a lot to pick from. There's just not. Creed needs to stop with the low snaps. It was getting on Mahomes' nerves. Yeah, he struggled with some of those low snaps near the end of the season, and I don't know why. But yeah, that was tough seeing that. Hopefully he's able to. I think Andy Reid was asked about it, and he was like, I'm not concerned about it. So, should be fine, in theory. Derek, thanks so much for the 10, man. I can't find that Nathaniel Hackett ears clip. I need to find it. Maybe we could put it on a stream in the future. What's up, TiVo? You heard he was switching his snapping hand? I haven't heard that, but I know he's a lefty. So that's interesting, if so. I definitely heard that he had to switch up a little bit of his technique of how he was snapping because of a preference of Mahomes. That could have played a role. But again, I don't have any that wasn't like Andy Heck saying that I can recall, the O-line coach. I think that was a bit unverified. Got to jump. Andrew, thanks for hanging out, man. Agreed, 80 Mitchell would be exciting. But check out Roman Wilson and Ryan too. Yes, sir. Definitely will, Andrew. Heck yeah, dude. Will we keep Hardman? I don't know. They'd have to re-sign him. Could potentially, maybe. Could potentially, but you'd bring him back on a cheap deal. What kind of Minshew meme are you going to get ready for this year? I don't know yet, but we're going to need one since he's a Raider. Minshew. It's got to be something that rhymes or something. We definitely need something for him. We definitely do. Darrell, somebody said, good question, Darrell. All right, what did Darrell say? I know I'm a newbie and all, and this is a rookie question. All good. Can the Chiefs restructure Sneed where they give him some of the $19 million as a bonus to lower the cap hit? No. I don't think you can lower the cap hit of a franchise tag. The only way you can lower that is by, you can tag him and he could sign the tag, and then you could still work out a contract extension before a certain date, and you could lower the cap hit that way and do some maneuvering of the cap with some bonuses there. I don't think you can, once they're tagged, if they're playing on the tag, it's just a cap hit, and that is what it is, and you're just stuck with it. Mildew Minshew? Oh my gosh, Mini Minshew. I kind of like that. Farmer Minshew? Was it? It was it was Max Crosby kept calling him little ass boy or something when he played him. It was just freaking hilarious, dude. Yeah, that's what he called him. I think it was little ass boy. I'm pretty sure, dude, because I just saw a clip on that. And then now Minshew's a Raider, which is freaking hilarious, dude. What's up, Monique? I'm about to get out of here in a couple minutes, but I'm doing good. How are you doing? Max is a bully, but pretty cool. Yeah, dude. He's a menace on the field, but he's just trying to play mind games, you know. What will be your surprise AFC teams based on the offseason and draft in 2024 that make it to the playoffs? I feel like it's a little bit early because the draft hasn't happened, but I think the Texans, that's not really a surprise team, but I just think they're putting themselves in a great position this free agency. They were already dangerous before with CJ Stroud. I think they're going to be a tough team to go up against. Chris Kelly saw a headline that the Chiefs may be looking to relocate if the vote fails. Seems unlikely. I mean, the relocation, I think, would be Kansas City, Kansas Legends, but I don't know how likely that really is. Derek D said it's on YouTube, NFL Films, the up and down relationship between a head coach and their headset, timestamp 2:15. Dang, okay. 2:15? All right, let me see if I can, let me try to pull it up. Okay, I have seen this, and I've seen it from Brandon Perna. Here, I'll pull it up. What the frick, dude? Can you guys hear this? Okay, no, you can't. Give me a half second. What the heck, bro? All right, here you go. All right, here you go.
It would definitely say that I've really enjoyed making love to your ears.
What? Yeah, I've heard that. Hackett is crazy, dude. What the heck, man? Derek, thanks for the 5. Crazy. Yeah, I don't think they relocate. I feel like it's pretty unlikely. Ali said, what? Roman said, what? Yeah, I know. We don't want to be talking about no love making to the ears, man, with the headset. It's just weird. It's just really weird. Farmer Mint Chew. Okay, I like that actually. I actually like that a lot. Garden. Lip reading. It's the up and down relationship between a head coach and their headset. Man, it is just me, but you miss football? No, it's not just you, Monique. We miss football. I kind of wish after the draft, the season was in like 2 months. So the draft is into April, May, June, but instead you gotta wait about 4 months. Yeah, big pause, Lonnie. That's a big old pause. Yo, Fred, thanks again for another 5, man. He said, do you think Caleb Williams is really like that? I don't know. I've seen some of his stuff. I am not that studied up on the draft. Obviously, I know who he is. I know he's projected to be the first to go off the board. People have for a long time now. I've seen a lot of his highlights. Been comparing him to the next Patrick Mahomes. I just feel like when you're doing that and you're trying to put that on somebody, it's almost setting them up to disappoint people. I think he's going to be great. But like that, I don't know if there's ever going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. Not going to lie. You guys are still coming up with Minshew names? Is that what's going on in the chat? Just looked up. Minshew is 6'11". What? No way he's that tall. Gardner Minshew height. He's 6'1". He's 6'1". Dude, I was like 6'11". That dude's like a giraffe walking out there. No, he's 6'1". Yeah, the annual proclamation of the generational talent. Do you guys think Caleb Williams is really like that? Like, what are your thoughts right now on Caleb Williams? 6'11" would be nasty. It really would be. What's up, because? You think Sneed's lingering knee issue complicated potential trades? Yeah, a little bit. We talked about that earlier, but yes. Carrington Harrison of 610 Sports did say that medicals are a concern to some teams. And it's definitely his knee. Joe said, I'm disappointed Sneed's not traded yet. Yeah, some of this stuff takes time, and part of the issue is Sneed wants to get paid a lot of money, man. A whole lot of money. Minshew the gym shoe? Oh my gosh. Good night, Rodolfo. Why do you guys want to see why do you guys want Sneed traded? Well, I don't even know if it's like a huge want, but it's just not like the Chiefs have kind of made their decision. They've tagged him with the intent of trading him, and they kind of need that $20 million to make some additional moves at positions of need. If not, you just extend or restructure somebody else. But I mean, in a perfect world, they extend Sneed. They come to an agreement on a long-term contract and get it done. But I just don't know if that's going to happen. Pat or Lamar MVP? I always feel like every single year Mahomes' MVP is his to lose. That's 100% up to Mahomes. Now, this year was not all on Mahomes, for what it's worth. His receivers led the NFL in drops, or bottom 5 in separation, and their routes ran, and a plethora of other issues. But still had a pretty good. He still had a pretty good season. Like if you look at the grand scheme of things compared to other quarterbacks, but it was definitely a down year for him. Mahomes' norm is like almost the ceiling for a lot of people. Cole, you need that hoodie? Yo, what's up, Roman? What up? What up? Yeah, this hoodie was when the Chiefs won the West last year. It was with the partnership I did with the Chiefs Pro Shop. I do like this hoodie. It's pretty slick. Max Crosby still laughing at what he called Minshew. Let's see. You see Mahomes, Fohawk is getting cut. I mean, I feel like he's been hinting at that for a while. But I haven't seen it yet. He's been talking about it. How do you feel about Hollywood? Love the signing, Monique. Yeah. He's going to be able to, just what he said in his presser, impact all three phases of the field, short, intermediate, and deep ball. I think Andy Reid's going to use him a little bit better than he was used in Arizona. He was used predominantly on the outside. I don't know if that's the best place for him. So I think they'll move him kind of all around. If he needs to play outside from time to time, totally fine. But I think you could line him up kind of all over the place in the slot. Could do outside if you need to. But I'm definitely excited about him. I think he's a pretty crisp route runner, more of a deep threat than MVS. And as long as he stays healthy, like, I love the signing. I think it's a great fit. Fills a big need for Kansas City, and the contract is pretty team-friendly, all things considered. Fred, thanks again for the 2 and another one with the 5. Why are you always gatekeeping fire hoodies? Well, this one, I think, this one's not gatekeeped. I think you can get this, well, it's last year's AFC West Championship apparel. So I think you can get this online. Pretty sure. Yeah, Hollywood's a major upgrade. What's up, Chris? Good to see you, man. Joe said the more money Sneed wants, his value drops for Chiefs and health concerns. Chiefs be lucky to get a third. Yeah, I think that's what they've been offered. Nobody's offered a second-round pick. Yeah, nobody's offered a second-round pick for Sneed from what's being reported. Sneed's like, he's like in a win-win. He's just, he's saying he wants a bunch of money. If he doesn't get that, then he could still play on the tag with the Chiefs for $19.8 million. I think that's kind of where he's at right now. Fred said, I remember bro saying, I don't know how to get this. Well, for this one in particular, I mean, you could just try to go to the Chiefs store online. It's last year's merch, so I'm not sure if it's still available. But the other jacket that I normally wear, the zip-up jacket with the double logo, I legit don't know how to get that. It's not available from what I understand. Cole, it's not a three-peat. It's a fat trick. All right, that sounds fine to me. Who's better, McDuffie or Sneed? I mean, I think Sneed was absolutely fantastic. I think McDuffie might have the higher ceiling. And he's the future in the Chiefs secondary. Yo, what's up, Kurt? Cole, love the constant energy. That's why this is the best Chiefs coverage. Dude, thanks so much for the kind words, man. You know, these 2-hour live streams they're long, but I try to keep up the energy. Try to keep it up. Cole, do you think we should get younger tight end so Kelsey can train him? I mean, yeah, that'd be ideal. You want to draft a tight end this year? I'm down. Maybe next year. I definitely think that they should. Zip up is my favorite, and I can't find it. Yeah, I normally wear zip ups, but I went to a meeting today, and I was like, I just want to wear a hoodie because I had a coat over it. I thought it'd be weird to wear a zip up jacket and a coat. Would you rather have Charvarius Ward back or Sneed? Sneed. But much respect to Charvarius Ward. Everything's better over there in San Francisco, so we'll just let him stay over there. But have we addressed QB2? Not yet, man. I don't know if that's Blaine Gabbert. I don't know what they're going to do there for QB2, but you don't have your answer yet. That's for sure. Yeah, McDuffie's awesome, Lonnie. Monique, much love. Much love, everybody. 10:02. I am out of here. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Another fun Tuesday night Q&A hangout. Always enjoy it. Thanks for just the mods holding it down. Appreciate you. Knight, Jennifer. I think Brand was in here a little bit. Nightbot holding it down as well. There's probably some mods that I'm missing that I'm just not seeing, but I appreciate the mods holding it down. Chat holding it down with the questions. Thanks again for all the dono bombs, the memberships, the gifted. Appreciate y'all more than you know. We'll be back most likely tomorrow with the video update as long as we got enough news to report on. There wasn't enough for today, but if there is, be sure of this. I will definitely report on it. Appreciate you guys, and until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go.
I don't know if it's so much that the identity of this team has shifted, but this is far and away the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has had, right? I mean, is it possible that they could ride the D? The defense?
Okay.